Okay. Welcome. What meeting is this? I'm just kidding. Welcome to our fall vocals meeting. Yes. Before we start, it's cool because we have our Aventura team joining our locals from our Fort Lauderdale pilot team. Later on, I believe there's going to be another special guest team arriving, and that's surprise. We'll see. Not surprise. Okay, so Okay. Oh, and then we won't tell you.
I don't know who they is.
So I first of all want to start this meeting like I start all TLA, like I start all staff meetings, and I think it's important to get in the right mindset. I would love biggest takeaway from those of you that were at SC2, like the biggest highlight or light bulb for you. Try to pick one, and what do you appreciate before we start? I'll give you 30 seconds. You can look through your notes. You can write it down. I just want you to give, and we'll be quick and efficient here. So if you want at SC2, just skip that part and just tell me you appreciate it. So I'll give you 25 seconds. Write down one big takeaway. Or for those of you that were not at SC2, one big light bulb or takeaway from your experience so far from the summer. And that'd be a good one. So for Liz, who was stuck in a log cabin somewhere in the lake, you were. Don't laugh. It's the truth. Okay? Another 15 seconds. Just one big takeaway. We want to go short and sweet here, folks. And then what you appreciate. All within hopefully 10 seconds each. And I'll even start with Trent in the back because I know he's going to keep it concise like a mice.
One of my big takeaways from SC2 was Herman's talk about running the office in the fall. And then what I appreciate is just being around those good people.
Wonderful. Palacio.
It never gets easier, so get better. It was never gets light bulb. And I appreciate my whole staff that's here today.
Outstanding. We'll go to the back. We'll go to Alicia.
Hey, I appreciated the 20-10-70.
Okay, the ratio. Yeah.
The ratio, just because 20% of people are always going to buy, 10% of people will never buy no matter what.
And 70%
is based on your.
We can control, right? And then what do you appreciate?
I appreciate just the fact that I was able to attend SC2. I mean,
Cool.
There was a lot of conflictions going on.
Good. I appreciate our conversation today. It was a good one. Alex.
My biggest takeaway was definitely all the CSPs. I love learning.
The late night. Yeah, that's where you make your money.
Yeah.
That's where you make your money. And what do you appreciate?
I appreciate SC2 and being able to experience because it's been talked about for so long to actually finally get to
I
it.
know. And now next year you can be the ones, and we'll get you involved. We can be the ones who talk about it so annoyingly, and you have to be there. But because now you have to be there, right? I was the same rep too. I said, man, you guys are so excited about this conference, and then I went and I went, oh, I see. It's like the party you had to be at. It really is. Abraham, right? Okay, go ahead.
I didn't go to SC2, but the best experiences I've had this summer working with the connections that I've been making.
Good.
And just getting out of my comfort zone.
Nice. What do you appreciate?
Like the other people I meet and how I get to talk to them about my goals, and then they get to share with me what
I love
they
it.
have done and what they've experienced.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's very eye-opening when you do that with customers. Good. Senor
What you
Gonzalez.
said about you choose to be extraordinary and not to be ordinary. That was like one of my biggest takeaways. And I appreciate just being with these guys. I've been there for like a month when we got to go and expand some.
Yeah, and it's only been a month, and imagine how it's going to be. You know, moving on.
Definitely SC2 was Andrew's talk, but just a life set goal, just life set mindset.
Great. And what do you appreciate?
I appreciate just joining Vector this summer.
Yeah.
There's so much growth.
Good. I'm excited to have all you fools here. I'm excited. I'm excited. Guy.
Besides Justin Ford, Luke Miseko's talk on his little sister and like her goal sharing, how her goal sharing is actually like super vital to her presentation because it's just like brings sympathy into the goal equation.
Yep.
And also like kind of says like about her struggles and stuff. So there's that, and I appreciate the office and our manager, of course,
Good.
Mr. Eric Palacio.
Mr. Eric Palacio. We'll go, Miss Liz.
What I appreciated was the time I got to spend with my family and the time I got alone.
Good. What do you appreciate? I guess what do you appreciate? Biggest light bulb or takeaway from your summer experience so far?
Just being able to disconnect a bit from social media, from always being on your phone, from technology.
So the vacation should be, right?
Yeah.
Good. And how about your Cutco experience? What do you appreciate most so far?
I appreciate the training I've gotten to allowing me, like, if I don't want to get up one day, I don't want to go to an appointment, I can push through that and feel better afterwards.
Yeah, you always feel better. It's like the gym, right? And then afterwards, you never feel worse unless you're sick, right? Unless you're sick, you never feel worse after putting a good workout in. You go, okay.
I can do the things
or unless you kill yourself.
Yeah.
That's right. There you
without
go.
wanting to.
I appreciate it. Nicole.
Okay, so takeaway from SC2 was how many opportunities there are for you if you just go out and get them. And what I appreciate is networking team.
Very nice, very nice. And we have a calendar to look at for a little fun Wynwood tour that I'm excited to share with you. I'm very excited.
Biggest takeaway, managerial wise, from this talk on the fall. Overall, I would say the impact that the Vector opportunity has for our students and how they're able to grow throughout the program. I appreciate our team. I appreciate the staff that we've worked with so far, and just excited for growth.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for, and you've been around enough to know what I'm going to talk about here. So this meeting, I want you to start a brand new set of notes. I want you to write down fall Cutco experience, okay? And it's really weird because we're in the middle still of the summer, and the summer experience for Cutco is just unlike any other. And part of it is the conference, part of it is the push week, part of it is the building of the team, part of it is how large this is. Like tonight's meeting is going to be one of the most fun and largest meetings we've had of the whole summer. But it's a completely different mindset for the fall, and I think we would be doing all of you a disservice if we waited until September to tell you how it rolls in the fall. We would be doing you a disservice from your business. We'd be doing a disservice from like understanding the job. And also, I think we would be doing you a big disservice. I would be doing a big disservice if we didn't give you a heads up on how you can take advantage of the fall. Because for me, I absolutely love the fall. There's nothing like summer. There's nothing like summer with Cutco. You can't compare it. Anyone that says, oh, I did Cutco and they didn't do summer, you didn't really do Cutco. If you do Cutco through college, you think about summers, and the non-summers are important, but it's the summers. Like for me, I love nice things. I like nice experiences. We're foodies. I'm not much to go camping. I like, hi, thank you. Hi, okay. I'm not much for camping. My wife laughs because we can go camping, but you would need like that bougie cabin. And I went, yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. But as much as I love it, I do appreciate those moments when my wife and I, let's say, disappear. We go to North Dakota to the farm and I have no service. And I really, like, I walk away going, oh, I love this. It's different. And it's not like living in Miami, living in Midtown and Design District in a condo. It's not like that, but you love the experience. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, which is the fall Cutco experience. And I'm going to give you, in no particular order, one is not better than the other. But I just wanted to share all the things that excite me for the fall. And my goal right now, in the next, 5 minutes, is I want to hopefully get you something, one or two, or ideally 3 things that you go, you know what, that's why I'm going to have a great fall, okay? Why do we do it now? Because it's already July 31st, and smart business people don't wait till last second, right? And so as a smart business person, all of you are very important people to our offices. You're going to be local, and you're going to take advantage of it. So I want to give you a heads up now, also because there are opportunities for you to advance in the fall that you need to know about now so that you might be able to earn it in the next 3 or 4 weeks. And some of you have already spoken to Eric and to David and to Giovanni about these opportunities. So number 1, part-time work, full-time pay. One of the things about the fall that's so great is the ability to be super flexible around things that are important that are not Cutco. In the summertime, we're all Cutco nutso. It's like all Cutco down your throat, Cutco down our own throats, by the way. It's all we do. And I also want to share with you when we get to the fall, like my job is like this in the summer, but my job changes almost completely in the non-summer. Like my involvement in the office, what I'm working on, it's different. But what's so great is you guys have the opportunity to work on a part-time basis and make full-time income, or you don't have to go part-time. You can do full-time work and make big-time pay. That's a second thing you might want to write down. I encourage you to write all these down and pick the ones at the end that really pop for you. Okay. What I love about the fall is just the flexibility. You know, during push weeks, we don't really have much, like that term flexible doesn't really come up during push weeks. You know, it's like push week, what do you think of? Intense, all the time. Oh, make more calls, do more demos. In the fall, it's really flexible. Other priorities first. You know, a lot of times when you're pushing, you're in the alliance and you're sacrificing, you really are, that's the key word, sacrificing for Cutco, but you're not really sacrificing for the cutlery, are you? Like, I hope not, that's weird. Like, what are you really sacrificing and laying it all out for the last 18 days? What's it for, really? For yourself, for your growth, for your goals, for the things you want to achieve, okay? But here, I think with other priorities first, and I'm gonna put a little arrow, but like a successful, sorry for the handwriting, adult. I think other priorities first, but like a successful adult. What do I mean by that? It's really one thing to prioritize things first. It's another thing to do it successfully. What do I mean by that? Well, a lot of time management, a lot of my one-on-one conversations, I think Marley, I talked about this, where until this job, you didn't really appreciate your parents and how much they had to do. And you're like, oh my gosh, like, working's hard. Like, making money for your family and still like raising me and me not being an idiot growing up and you doing a career in this, it's hard. And you can have other priorities, but other things go down. You guys ever seen, the circus, they have this thing where they have plates and the guy spins the plates and he puts the rod, spins the plates, and all of them are spinning at the same time. But if you just focus on spinning one plate, what happens to these?
Oh.
They fall and they crash. So the opportunity to be able to balance what's important to you that's not Cutco, but still maintain what's important for Cutco, whether it's income, TLA and advancement, or experience. One of my favorites are the high school students here, because you're doing, when Nicole did this last year, when you're a high school student and you're doing high school senior and you're doing all the fun stuff like proms and all the stuff that makes high school so great, and you're doing this on a really part-time or depending what type of schedule basis, you're just pulling yourself. So Liz, I'm just excited for you ahead of time. You're pulling yourself ahead of the curve because most people your age aren't doing that. Well, most of your friends are either not even doing the school, just mailing it in for the senior year, or they're just focused on school and they don't know how to do anything else. I grew up with a bunch of people like that who were really good at school but didn't have anything else. And I don't know about you, but that's not how I wanted to be in high school, okay? I'm gonna put down more time and attention. Because it's not massive like the summer, you get more time and attention from the managers. So there's a lot more one-on-one coaching. There's a lot more, hey, how do I get a little bit more, a lot more from Eric? How do I get a lot more from Jeff and from Giovanni, and from David, and in this case from Trent, who's gonna be joining on the staff? Like, these are really key moments where if you wanna get better at this job, or if you get into TLA and you wanna get more coaching, I think this is a big part of it. I wanna write down All-American. In the summertime, you typically have to sell $40,000 plus. It might be higher after this summer, I don't know. But you have to sell usually 35 to 40,000 plus for the summer just to be in contention for top 50. In the non-summer, it's only 25 scholarships, but you could probably bang one out with 20 to 25K during the school year. And when I lay it out for you in just a second, it's really not that much to win an All-American scholarship, to build your resume, of course, the scholarship itself, and just the accomplishment. That's something you're excited about, okay? And of course, what I love about the fall is that if you get into Leadership Academy, it's awesome. It's awesome. Leadership Academy is where you're gonna get those lessons of money and energy and time and people and self that many of us have had interviews, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far. And for those of you that haven't had an interview or don't have high enough sales yet, Leadership Academy, there's also late acceptances for Leadership Academy. Okay. And then the schedule is way different. The schedule is way different. So I want you to go through. I want you to pick your top 2. Like, what are the top 2 or 3 things that get you excited and I want to be very careful. I want to time out. We're still pushing hard for post-conference pop. You still need to earn TLA, and you still need to grind right now. But in 4 weeks, it's going to be different. In 3 weeks, it's going to be different. So rank your top 2 or 3 things that get you fired up. And I'm going to ask a couple of you to share here in just a second. You can write number 1, 2, and 3. You can circle them. It's up to you. And then those of you that have been part of the fall, like an Eric or a David, I would love, even for you personally, when you guys were doing it as students. Guy, give me top 2 or 3.
Top 1 has always been TLA, since I kind of like when I started, I just TLA was like my main goal. And second one has always been All-American scholarship, because I definitely want to help out my parents.
Nice.
Come to pay out my college.
Yeah. And one thing, I guess it could be here, it could be separate, as we have assistant manager opportunities. Now, to be an assistant manager in the summer, you have to go through full TLA training. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. But the assistant manager role in the fall is different. It's not as intense. it's really just helping the office, but on a wink wink kind of deal. It does help boost your status for TLA. It does help boost your opportunities to be an assistant for the summers, which is super lucrative. It's the big deal for your resume. So if you're interested in getting a jump for summer opportunities, being an assistant now can really help. We're going to talk to a lot of you about that in the next couple of days, couple of weeks. Nicole, you were part of this. What were the 2 or 3 things you loved about being a high school senior and doing Cutco in the fall versus the summer?
Okay, well, I definitely love saying to my friends, oh, that's an interview today. And,
Okay, so you like kind of this stuff.
exactly, yeah, kind of like TLA, being the assistant manager, and these kids are like working at Chick-fil-A, eating their jobs. But definitely how flexible it was. I mean, high school senior and working around, wanting to have a lot of fun. I had a few AP classes, just being able to work around all that and still be able to, of course, sell. That's part of the job, to sell and also to make the money that I wanted to make.
Good.
Just so that-
Good. We'll go, Alex, what are you excited about?
Well, at first, the All American wasn't. It was nice, but I guess I wasn't thinking a lot. But now that it's kind of more doable in the fall, that I'm kind of.
Yeah, it's less competition.
Yeah, so that definitely TLA for sure, because I had no interest in it all until probably 2 weeks into the job.
Good.
And then definitely the flexibility, because being in school and stuff.
Good. Okay, we'll do one more. Senor Gonzalez.
Me, my number 1 is TLA, but the other one is also I'll have other parties first, but to like an adult, that's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, and I know this is given, but it's good to make income and not have to work that hard, or good to make income, work hard, and it's big compared to if I work really, really hard at Chick-fil-A, I already know that paycheck. If I work really, really, really hard here, I've seen your pay. What was your biggest paycheck of the school year when you're in the middle of school, during one of the pushes? What were you for a week?
1K.
Yeah, so $1,000. But I know we see that all the time in the summer, but in the non-summer, it's really cool to say, hey, I'm a senior, or I'm a student, or I'm going to UM and taking classes, and oh yeah, I worked 2 days this week and I still made a G, or whatever the number is, or even 500, whatever the number is. Second thing, I want to talk about this real quick, assistant manager opportunity. I want you to take a few notes on this, and this isn't for everyone, and I know this isn't, but let me explain what the assistant manager position is for the fall. And I know we've thrown a lot of different terms around. You guys have heard pilot sales manager, assistant manager, DOM, which is district office manager. All those apply for the summer. But when you're an assistant manager in the fall, it's pretty straightforward. In the fall, assistant equals you're just helping. The easiest way to say it is that you're someone who's going to help the office. Okay? So I want to talk about 2 things. I want to talk about what tasks people who are fall assistants do to help, but also why people want to be an assistant manager. Because when I think of help, I think of when my dad said, hey, I need help with the yard. It's okay, I don't really want to help. It's not like that help, okay? The reason I say help is because it doesn't require mega training. You're not a real, I'm running interviews kind of an assistant. You can be, that's a different type of role. So the task number 1, setting PRs. All of you know what PRs are, and if you don't know, then you really just are deaf, dumb, or blind in our company, because all we do is ask you for friends on the team forever. We're still asking you for friends, okay? It's part of how to get into TLA, for crying out loud. Why? Because it's how our business runs. It's personal recommendation. So being able to set PRs. Number 2, active advertising, which is where we go on campus and we go to local universities and colleges and we put the word out, but it's also a ton of fun to be able to go active advertising. You're out and about with the students, but we're networking for the job. One of the companies I follow, a lot of fitness companies, my wife and I, and there's this one company that I've watched go from nothing to I cannot get it off of my feet. I might even take it off. Have you guys heard of Bang energy drinks?
Oh yes.
What the hell?
That came out of nowhere.
No, they're Fort Lauderdale based, okay? And the old CEO had his hand in other VPX. I used to use his products. And out of nowhere, they developed a product called Bang. It's your normal over-caffeinated drink. It's more than Monster. Oh my gosh. It's got 350 milligrams of, caffeine. It's already 20% over your allotted daily amount.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. Okay. And there are other drinks like that. You can go to gyms and find drinks with more caffeine, actually. But what makes Bang so popular? Why is their IPO through the roof? Well, it's one thing. What's that?
They're advertising.
They're advertising hard.
I've never heard of it in my
They're advertising and they're going onto campuses, right? They're putting, and it's different. Like their marketing is different. It's like Red Bull, right? They have a bunch of guys and girls who are fit dancing around. That's their marketing. But what they're doing is they're just putting effort into going onto the campuses. They're going to the Boca Bashes of the world. They're going to the different music festivals. But they're not a better drink. There are drinks with more caffeine. There are drinks that actually have been better sales. What happens? They're just putting the word out, and it's fun. And we're doing the same thing, but on college campuses. And we're not going to be doing dances around college campuses, but we are going to put advertisings out. It is a ton of fun. Okay. Sell part-time to lead. Assistant manager, one of the tasks of being an assistant manager has nothing to do with management. It has to do with just do your job that you would normally do anyway, but we're going to talk about you more. Which means, and I'm not even talking about doing the job. Doing the job means you sell 1,000 or more. I even mean doing something that I know it sounds like a curse, it's like a sin that I'm even saying this, but all we want is you to sell 500 a week because you can spit that out during the school year. You can do that on a demo for all I care. But what happens is you get people who've never done Cutco before that don't know what it's like in the summer, watching our assistants, and we're going to have 5 to 7 assistants or help in here in the pilot. You guys will have probably 3 to 5 of your own, maybe up to 8 as well. And everyone here is just going to lead by example. When I have 8 students, like let's say an Alex and a Liz and a Nicole, right? And just between the 3 of those ladies, you guys are selling 1,500, but it was nothing. Well, then if I'm a new representative, what am I seeing? What's encouraging to me? If I've never done Cutco before, I just started training in October after 4 weeks of classes. When I see Liz and Nicole and Alex sell $1,500 between the 3 of them, and they didn't do anything more than 2 appointments to get it, what am I seeing? I'm motivated, yeah. So that already, ready, helps the team, okay? Outside of that, that's really it, okay? Now, the only thing that's gonna be higher than that, okay, is what we call a TLA type assistant, okay? So there's assistant, there's fall help, and then there's a TLA type assistant, okay? A TLA type assistant is this, plus we're going to teach them how to run interviews, which is what Nicole was last fall. She didn't start that way. She started as help, and then I don't know, when did we transition you to? October, November. We decided to put her into this because she wanted to be a better candidate for TLA. So we started giving her chances to run interviews, and now she's one of our most qualified recruiters. And before she even gets out of high school, she's already making decisions with people who work here. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Okay, so I just want you to know. We have in the pilot for sure 8 openings, and in Eric's office between 4 or 5 plus, so you might be higher. But for both, essentially everyone in this room could be an assistant manager. It also looks great on your resume, so I'll put down a couple of Y's. So resume, of course. Okay. It's also, I'm going to put TLA plus. It gives you an advantage on TLA. So when we're making decisions for branch managers, for summer full-time assistants, for district office managers, 9 times out of 10, there are people who were assistants during the fall, either this type or this type of an assistant. Okay. The third, it's just more fun. You're around the group. You're around the crew. All right. In here in South Florida, what's great is our offices are so close. We're going to be doing a lot of joint functions together. So you'll see me more. You'll see Luke more. You'll see Eric more, and I think we're fun. Yeah, we're a ton of fun. Okay. So I'm going to stop there. What I want to say is, if you have any interest in being an assistant manager. All right, even if you're slightly interested, make sure you talk to David from Fort Lauderdale or talk directly to Eric from Aventura. I think let him know tonight, and at some point you guys want to have a conversation, because I'll just tell you right now, from our office, there's only 5 of you here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of you, 6 of you here, and 2 of them already have a position. In fact, David and Trent are going to be taking over the pilot sales manager responsibilities. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 of you, I think, would be awesome to be around the office, help, and I really want all 4 of you at least to talk to David about it, because I also like you guys. So it's fun. It's fun to work around people you like. I don't ever have to work around someone I don't like. I've never had that in my life here, because I don't. It's like, let's say I like Liz. Let's say I really hate it. Like I don't like Liz. I would never be in a position where I'd have to say, well, I have to ask her to be an assistant. Like I don't have to talk to her. But that's not who we accept. You know what I'm saying? So. Any questions on assistance so far, or any comments that you guys want to make? I'm pretty clear so far. Okay, so let Eric know or let David know, and we'll set up a time to at least talk about it. I think worst case for ladies in our office, ask David, have a conversation with them this weekend. And it might be, you know what, maybe after I'm hearing it, no, that's not for me, but I think a lot of you are gonna really enjoy it. It's gonna be a good experience for you, okay? Next one, I wanna talk about the income opportunity in part-time, full-time. So let me go over, get things straight. I wanna talk about income, how to make income here in the schedule. Okay. So this is one of the coolest parts about being in Cutco in the fall, because it's just easier to succeed. So I want to talk about part-time versus full-time first. Okay. So a part-time student is typically going to do 5 to 10 appointments a week, and a full-time student is going to do 12 to 15 appointments. Minimum, like absolute bare minimum, I'm gonna put 3 in the fall, and that's for someone where it's finals week. That's for someone where it's midterms week. That's where someone says, Jeff, I got so much going on. Okay. The reason I say 3 is because anyone can do 3 appointments, even if, and you've done this. Nicole did 3 appointments around her 8. What testing did you have to take this year? Or your finals or your or midterms or something. So 3, that can be done, you know, on a Saturday after you've done everything. But see, 3 appointments usually is 2 sales. Average order is $400 plus. That's $800 if you're at 30/30. That's $240 up to $400 just from half a day worth of work. And ready? For most people, that's actually a full-time income. This is like the worst case. So most students are doing minimum 3. And here, a full-time student's doing minimum 10 appointments for the week. Okay. But we have a magic number. The magic number is no matter what, like in general, not when it's finals and not when you're going more like full-time. It's the number of appointments pretty much everyone does every week in the fall. Nicole, do you remember the number? What's the focus what? How many appointments? We focus 5, right? A week. It's easy. 5 can be done in 2 half days. 5 can be done in 1 day. Most people do 5. Sometimes it's 3 and 10. So speaking of those numbers, 3, 7, 3, 5, 7, and 10. Okay. 3 is a week when someone is just totally engulfed in school, okay, in projects. You have 10, 20 different extracurricular activities, and you're just trying to make sure that you make a really solid income. You do 3 appointments a week. Okay, that's that. Most people do 5 a week. Okay. If you want to make a higher income, it's 7. And if you want to go for an All-American scholarship, you should be going for more like 10 a week. What's really funny is most of you do about 10 a week now anyway. Okay, so let's do the math on all this. I think this is really important. Let's do a conservative closing ratio. Let's call it 60 to 70% closing ratio. Let's do an average order of 400 plus. It could be higher, it could be low. Let's just say 400. So it's 60% of 3. Anyone know? Too much math for you? Okay, 2 sales.
Where's the money?
Okay, so that's 2 sales. What's 60% here?
3.
There you go. 60% and 6. Okay. So this is how much demos. How many you sell on. Average orders how much? 400. So it's 800, 1200, 1600, and 2400. Okay. I'm going to make it even easier math. $1,000. 750, 1500. I'm just going to call it 2500. So now let's take it, and this is where I need a calculator, David. Okay. Let's take it through the semester. How many weeks in the semester? We have September, October, November, December. So 4 times 4? 16. So we'll take 16 weeks. Okay. Senor Delgado.
12,000.
12K. This is 16,000. Right. This is 8, 6. This is 24,000 and 2,500 times 16. Engineer share.
Yeah, but I forgot math.
40,000. So if you do 3 a week, and most of you are in this situation, you'll still sell 12 grand. Income wise, anyone know income? This is the last part. This is as on the low end, about 2K up to 6K in income for the semester. If you're doing the normal job, that's 16K. On the low end, that's 4K up to 8K in income. Here, if you do 24 grand, that's going for 7. That is 6,000 up to 12,000. And if you're going for an All-American scholarship, that's 40. What's 40 grand?
12K.
12K. 12K up to 20K if you're half baby. Okay. Most of you will hover here. Some weeks you'll go here and there'll be like 10%. It's 10-80-10, right? 80% will be here, 10% and 10%. So, you guys see that? So if money is really important to you, it's really easy to make money. If getting an All-American scholarship is important to you, it's not that hard to do. Any questions on this? And this is different. This is a lot different than the summer where we're trying to have you, sell this just in one order. Like this is what we want you to do every order, not for the week. You guys see the difference?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, let me show you a typical schedule. You got this one already? Any questions? Any light bulbs? Like what's exciting? What are you taking from this?
So they just like the flexibility.
Yeah, I didn't show you the schedule. It's not even the same.
The opportunities.
Okay. How about our young guys? What are you one of our young guys? What are you taking from this?
The ability to earn more while doing this.
Yeah. I'm not saying be lazy. I'm just saying maximize your time and enjoy being in school. Okay. So here's the part that I think is my favorite. It's the schedule. So here's a typical schedule for the non-summer, okay? PSP, which is your paycheck schedule, phone meeting, when you meet with us one-on-one, okay? And I'll put down phone jam, question mark. Why question mark on Sunday during the school year? Because what's Sunday phone jam meant for? To book up appointments for when? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but what's different in the fall and spring? You have school, so you might not even need this. So most of you don't have that unless it's a push week. Okay. And I'm just gonna put down 8 to 5. I know all of you have some funky schedules. I just talked to Nicole, for example. Funky schedule, way different than this. Okay, that's a typical schedule for a student. If you're in high school, you just add one more to Friday. But most of you shouldn't have Friday classes if you do it something really small in college, okay? So that means if you wanted to, you do 2 appointments there, 2 appointments there. What happens on Wednesday?
2 meetings.
Meeting, phone jam, so no appointments there. You do 2 appointments there. You could do 4 to 6 here, 4 to 6 here, 2 to 3 there. And that's like full blown. Looks way different than a push schedule, doesn't it? That's 16.
Well, you said Friday and Saturday. What does that say over there? 4 to 6?
4 to 6 appointments, 4 to
Okay.
6 appointments. So overall, you could do 16 to 21 appointments. Half of that is only 8 to 10, and even half of that is only 4 to 5 a week. Some of our reps, by the way, will just do 1 of these days. So they'll do no Cutco whatsoever except for checking in for the PSP, come for the phone jam in the meeting in the evening, and then they just do 1 day of appointments. Some split it up over these 2 days. Some, there are a few that will do their appointments here and they take the rest off. To me, what's really cool is it doesn't matter to me, and what's really cool is you can change it every week for all I care. Okay, that's a lot different than what we've done here in the summer. Our most successful reps that are really focused on school are checking in for their PSP, no Cutco whatsoever, phone jam on Wednesday, they book up their appointments and they pick when they're doing a few appointments. They sell 500 to 1,000, that's their week, that's it. Everything else is everything else, non-Cutco. Okay, so any questions or any comments from the staff on this? Yes, sir.
I remember being like in Tallahassee. When I was a rep, I was going into my junior year of college. So I was taking my advanced level classes. I was a system manager and I was still doing 3 or 4 demos a week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It may seem scary on paper, but when you actually start doing it and you have a planner, it makes it a lot more manageable. Yeah. It takes a certain level of just time management.
Yeah, and if you're a system, I'm gonna go back to training. If you're an assistant manager helping, you're just helping a little bit here, and maybe a little here. That's it.
On Mondays.
Sunday, Mondays, yeah. And sometimes with active here, depending on your school schedule. It all varies depending on your schedule.
Yeah, so also on that note, like how you close out the summer affects how your fall is gonna go, because I remember my first week back in Tallahassee, I sold a signature set on one appointment, that was $600, that let me feel homey. So all the recs you get from grinding now is also what's gonna set you up and make it a lot easier in the fall.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Last few things. And this is, I feel sinful. Like I feel like I need to wash my mouth with soap when I say this stuff. But really, all you have to do minimum is be at $500 for the week. And I know right now, this time of the year, I mean, you put this on the group chat, you're getting crushed. Okay.
Look,
Yeah, Luke's the enforcer. Luke and Giovanni have been enforcers for years. But in the non-summer, every week we're gonna recognize people who do at least 500. Why? Because if you do that for the next 16 weeks, we already talked about that. That's 8,000 in sales. You're making roughly $2,000, even if that's nothing. Okay, and in fact, we make it so much fun that every $500, everyone that's over $500 will do drawings in all of our offices. We have something called Focus 500, where we're going to give away, all of our offices both have the same amount. We're giving away about $1,300 worth of free cut, but every week we're going to give away a new piece. Every week, text message, and the prize of the week is, and it'll be the cleaver, or the paring knife, 4-inch paring knife, or the cheese knife. We have like 19 million cheese knives, right? We do. Flip the page, look for the cheese knives. There's like 4 of them. So we have Focus 500. Okay. And then also, I haven't solidified it yet, but I'm going to be talking to the district managers here on the South Florida part. So Boca Raton, us, Aventura, and the Miamis. We're going to come up and we're going to come up with a little extra fun contest for personal recruiting to help kickstart the fall. Okay. So a couple of things that you can do to help. Number one, make sure you ask and get a conversation about being an assistant. B, get your school schedule to your manager ASAP. If you get into TLA, just ahead of time, do your best to get 4 p.m. on Wednesdays. Do your best to get 4 p.m. on free on Wednesdays, because our TLA will be sometime on Wednesday. We don't have time yet. Sometimes it's been 4:30, sometimes it's been 4, sometimes it's been 6. But just past 4 o'clock, try and keep Wednesday open, and then everything else, it doesn't really matter. Just do school.
Not being for Margo at 4 p.m.
No, your office.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, your office.
You want to be my office?
Well,
He's just asking. Oh no, for TLA, yeah, TLA is in your own individual office.
I'm kidding.
He's kidding. He's kidding. Okay. Any questions? Okay, I just wanted to share some of the thoughts on the assistant manager roles and the fall. And the fall is going to be awesome. We're gonna have a ton of fun. We're gonna do. I got a lot of joint meetings. I don't know. I'm excited now that Eric's the district manager and Luke's here. I'm really excited. I'm going to be in the office a lot more than normal. And Trent's training to reopen his district office. And David is just one of the most experienced guys. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Any questions? Sure. Sweet. So tonight, from here on out, it's normal Sunday. So process this and then just erase this from your mind for the rest of the night, because I don't want you to talk about these numbers. Okay, this is just for the non-summer, and we'll go from there. And then Eric and David will kick off our phone jam right now in the next few minutes. Ready to rock and roll? Cool. And if you're watching this, make sure you talk to your manager and set up a time